Hello everybody, welcome to the SENA TV Web English Show. In this second season, you have the opportunity to learn and practice your English, but in different subjects. Today, we will talk about health. So you'll not just practice your English, but you will also learn about very interesting topics and situations you may encounter in your daily life, whenever you travel to an English-speaking country, or whether you need to work with foreigners coming from all over the world that without doubt will communicate with you through the universal language, English. Hi everyone and welcome to our English tip for today. This lesson is part of the National Learning Service SENA bilingual programs and it is made just for you. Today, you'll learn some expressions that may come in handy if you travel to an English-speaking country and you have any health problem. First of all, be sure you travel with a health insurance, in Spanish, seguro médico, that will cover all the costs of the hospital in case you get sick or if you are involved in any kind of accident. Be careful if you travel without this insurance because hospitals in the United States, for example, are really expensive. If you're going to take a long flight, for example, from Bogota to London, as soon as you arrive to London, you may experience what we call a jet lag. This psychological condition means that you have arrived to a country that has a different time zone, and due to the time change, you'll probably feel sleepy, tired, or dizzy, which in Spanish is con sueño, cansado, o mareado. In Spanish, jet lag will be me afectó el cambio de horario. If you ever need to go to the emergency room at the hospital, or if you have an appointment with a doctor in another country, these words may be very helpful for you. Dolor se dice pain. Dolor de cabeza es headache. Dolor estomacal se dice stomachache. Dolor de oído se dice earache or my ear hurts. Dolor en el cuello es neck pain. Tengo gripa es I have a cold or I have the flu. Dolor de espalda es backache, pero si quieres decir me duele la espalda sería my back hurts. Or I have a pain in my back. Tengo un dolor en mi espalda. Tengo fiebre y necesito un termómetro se dice I have fever and I need a thermometer. Me caí muy duro se dice I fell down very hard. Si quieres decir el dolor es fuerte, dices the pain is strong. Me siento enfermo o me siento mal, se dice I feel sick or I feel bad. Cuando la comida en un hotel te cae mal, puedes decir I had food poisoning, which means in Spanish, intoxicación alimentaria. Stay tuned to TV Web SENA so you can learn more English. Bye bye everyone. Thank you, Philip. Please help me with my next patient.
Hoy, bilingüismo, inglés.
Who hasn't been concerned about their weight? Probably everyone. The dream of many people is to be able to eat whatever they want without gaining any pounds. Today, Dr. Yadira Cortez will explain to us how to follow a balanced diet without spending too much money.
I can say that good nutrition is when the person eats everything that he or she needs to get all the energy and the nutrients to have a healthy life. The word diet is misused, the whole word. Every time that we say diet, we think that the person is doing a special type of diet, say, to have a low cholesterol, to have low sodium, to have a low-calorie diet. But the right way to say is the diet is what we eat during the whole day. Each person has a diet, a personal diet. It's a normal foods that they eat during the 24-hour period. There are three main food groups. The foods that are high in protein, for example, like meat, eggs, milk, and some like beans or peas. And they give us like the bricks for a construction to have healthy muscles and to grow healthy. Then we have another group that is high in carbohydrates that we call like starch groups, where we have rice, pasta, potatoes, yuca, and all those of foods, and they give us energy in order to fulfill all the labors that we have during the day. And the third group is that we call like a regulator group, is that it's rich in vitamins and minerals, like fruits and vegetables. And they give us like those nutrients that are needed in order to use the fat, carbohydrates, and proteins to fulfill these functions. The fats, they give us energy. Most of the people think that they don't have to eat fat. That's a big mistake. We all need to eat fat. In fact, 30% of our calories in the day have to come from fat. Overweight is one of the main problems in the world at this point in time. Why? We have changed our way to live, say this way. We used to walk a lot, we used to exercise, and we used to eat like a more healthy way. The way to combat obesity is start exercising more and control what we eat. I don't say that we cannot eat some food. We can eat everything, but in the portion that we need for the amount of energy that we spend. If you say, for example, I can eat fried foods, yes, I can eat fried foods, but I cannot eat fried foods at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and every day. You have to eat 5 times a day. Is what is recommended. It can improve your metabolism, yes, it can, but it's not the main reason. The main reason is that when you wait for a long time to eat, then your organism is needing a lot of the nutrients that you haven't eaten for those hours. So they are like taking everything out of those foods that you eat. So a classical example of that is that we eat dinner and then we go to bed. We get up, we take a shower, and we run out of our house and we don't eat breakfast. And then we wait until lunchtime. That is a fasting for a long time. So at lunch, we will be hungry and we will eat much more than we normally would eat if we have eaten breakfast before. Let me give you an example of what a healthy diet and not so expensive would be for a whole day. Let's start with a breakfast. We can have some cereal, and in the cereal we can put milk. You can choose if you use whole milk, low-fat milk, low lactose milk, depending on the one that you like or the one that you need. So you put the milk in it, then you put some fruit, and now for lunch we could have a vegetable soup, and we could have, say, like a piece of chicken, some rice with beans and some vegetable. And then we could have some juice. If you want, you can have some dessert, say like this, piece of brownie. And now for dinner, we will have something a little bit lighter than what we had for lunch. For example, we can have an open-faced sandwich in which we have the bread, then we have the cheese and the ham. And then we can eat that with a glass of milk if we want, or if we prefer something hot because the day is cold, we can have the same milk in a coffee. We put the milk in here and we put the coffee and we have something a little bit hotter. Now let's try something for the middle of the morning and the middle of the afternoon. Let's say, for example, in the morning we can have a fruit. You can pick, for example, an apple for that, or a peach, whatever you want. One of those two. And for the afternoon, I would say that you can have, for example, a couple of cookies with a little glass of juice.
We'll be right back after this short break with more English specialized in health. This is SENA TV Web in English. Don't move.
Estás viendo Bilingüísmo, Inglés.
Do you know what illness means? Illness. Illness, sometimes referred to as ill health or ailment, is a state of poor health or indisposition resulting from a disease of body or mind. It's a period of sickness. Illness is sometimes considered another word for disease. That is a pathological condition of a part, organ, or system of an organism resulting from various causes such as an infection, genetic defect, or environmental stress, and characterized by an identifiable group of signs or symptoms. Illness significa enfermedad o dolencia. Disease es el nombre exacto que se le da a la enfermedad. For example, people with a mental illness can experience a distortion in the way they think. That is why they send them to a mental hospital. Some type of cancers are cataloged as terminal illness. There's nothing you can do to cure the patient's disease.
Have you ever thought that in ISPA you could find treatments to improve your health and your quality of life? In this following segment, you'll see some aspects regarding biosecurity applied to cosmetology, just as one of the classes SENA offers to you.
A spa is a place that promotes the harmony between body and mind. Going to spas has become a worldwide phenomenon where the care of oneself is the core of the offer proposed. Colombia hasn't been left behind on this trend, and nowadays there are many health centers that follow strict guidelines regarding biosecurity. Also, they provide equipment with cutting-edge technology aimed to fulfill their customers' needs to the fullest.
In this room, we find the tanning camera bed. This machine emits ultraviolet radiation. 97% is UVB and 3% is UVA to produce the tanning cosmetic. If you haven't had a suntan for a long time, you must not stay in this tanning bed for more than 5 minutes the first time. Here we find the Camera Alpha 33. It's an excellent equipment that uses heat and vibration for many needs. In this machine, you can lose weight and relax. In this room, we make the facial treatment. All the place must be clean because it avoids the germs. The facial is a treatment that is used to keep your skin moisturized, smooth, soft, and clean. This is the facial steamer which is used to open the pores of the face of the patient.
Now Adriana, a licensed esthetician, is going to teach us how to do a facial.
In this moment, Adriana is cleaning the face. She removes the makeup, then apply the tonic and dry with Kleenex. Put Vaporizano for 10 minutes and cover eyes. Make extraction carefully. Put high frequency for specific areas. Then put the max and leave it for 10 minutes. Remove the mask. Finally, apply the sunscreen.
If you are at a place and someone suffers an accident, are you prepared to help that person? The Red Cross will teach us today how to react when someone is having a health problem or an accident. Pay attention to these first aid tips. They might come in handy any day, anytime. You never know.
First aid is all the cares and measures someone can give to a victim, whether it is of an accident or an illness, before they get medical assistance. If you see someone in need of first aid, you have to always remember to follow certain steps. First, you have to don't panic, always remember not to panic. Then you have to identify what happened. You have to remember to keep yourself safe, and then evaluate how many people are injured. After that, you have to make a primary assessment, where you make a global evaluation of what happened, and then you act on the emergency, depending on what it is. A first aider will be trained in attending different kinds of injuries. Some of them are life-threatening, and some of them will not be life-threatening. The most important that you will have to learn is to manage bleeding, to manage animal bites, to manage choking, to manage open fractures, open injuries, and soft tissue injuries. Those are the basic ones you will have to learn. When you take a course on first aid, there are certain skills they will teach you. You have to learn to do CPR, you have to learn to stop bleedings, you have to learn to immobilize joints, you have to learn how to turn around people who have been victims of falls. CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It is used when you see someone who is unconscious, who's not breathing, and who needs care. The purpose of CPR is to keep the oxygen flowing to the brain. So the American Heart Association proved that it saves more life if, as soon as you see someone unconscious, you immediately start compressions, heart compressions. So I'm going to teach you now how to do chest compressions. We are going to use chest compressions when we find someone who is unconscious and that we believe they are in cardiac arrest. So now I'm going to teach you how to do the chest compressions. The first thing you need to know is where to localize your hands. You have to find the midline of the chest, where the sternum ends, the bone in the middle of the chest ends. You will find a soft spot. 2 fingers above of it, you should put your hand, the back of your hand, and then cross your fingers like this. Always have your shoulders on top of the victim and have your arms straight. You will begin pushing up and down until half of the chest goes down, and always letting the chest come back to the first position, like this. You should do compressions in a rate of 80 to 100 compressions per minute. This will ensure that the blood flow to the brain will be continuous. When we are going to give chest compressions, you have to always remember to position yourself on the lateral side of the victim, never on top of the head. In case you have someone else who can help you in the CPR, someone has to be in charge of the respirations and someone has to be in charge of the chest compressions. We're going to do the chest compressions in the same rate, but you will do 30 compressions to 2 respirations. So we will count to 30, then the person who is in charge of the breathing will give the mouth-to-mouth respiration. So now we're going to learn how to do chest compressions on babies. This is different. We have to trace a straight line between the nipples of the baby, and you put your fingers a little bit down the line, and you will do compressions the same as an adult, but just with the 2 fingers, like this. When you suspect a baby is choking, you should do this maneuver. We should turn the baby around, position his head always lower than his legs. You should grab his head with your hand from the jaws firmly, and then turn him around and give 5 strong slaps on the back. This will make the baby expel the foreign body which is obstructing the airway. Another thing you have to learn when you are taking a first aid course is how to do the Heimlich maneuver. The Heimlich maneuver is used when somebody's choking. When somebody's choking, they will always begin coughing, and then if the airway is completely obstructed, they will do the universal sign of choking, which is they grab their neck and they will try to call for help. In order to do the maneuver, you should place yourself behind the person, wrap your arms around them, then place one of your hands below the bone in the soft section, and then push hard with your hands, like this. This will make them expel the object in their airway. The biggest reward this job has given me is the fact that you know that you can save lives with your hands, that you can change someone's future, that you can do something to change somebody's life and a family's life. That's the biggest fulfillment.
We'll be right back after this short break. This is SENA TV Web in English. Stay tuned.
Estás viendo Bilingüísmo, Inglés.
Do you know what chickenpox mean? A disease caused by a chicken you ate. B, a virus that causes red, itchy bumps. C, a high fever. D, an infection coming from a bacteria of a chicken. The answer is B, a virus that causes red, itchy bumps. Chickenpox is varicela in Spanish.
English SENA TV Web spoke with a doctor expert in occupational safety and health. Let's see what this is all about.
Occupational healthy and safe is an important matter. It's used for our hospital. It's to give a healthy work environment. It's to avoid accidents. It's to use the recycling in a proper way. We have in this hospital 3 different policies. The first one is to use protection, like glasses, surgical mask, and gloves. The second one is related to report any accident to the manager. And the third is about to use the containers in the right way. In this hospital we have 3 different types: the red, the gray, and the green. We have several types of risk in hospitals. The first one is related to the biological risk, because the employees are in contact with the body fluids and blood. The second is related with chemical risk, as some types of medications. And the third is related to the radiation. The most common types of accidents in a hospital are ergonomic and biological risk. The first one is how to move patients to different positions, and the second one is related to getting contact with biological fluids like a blood, or sometimes if we can get a scratch or pinch from a needle, and how we can get contaminated.
Well, my friends, that's all for today. We have reached the end of our show, and we hope that you will continue to join us on this journey through the English language in each one of our different subjects. Remember, this is SENA TV Web in English. See you soon and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Acabas de ver Bilingüísmo, Inglés.